fitness is one of the few aspects of life in which you can directly control the progress you make. You work really hard at a job, you're not guaranteed progression, you're not guaranteed a promotion. If you work really hard on your fitness journey, you are guaranteed results. It's a Thursday, which means that it is time for another video, which is obviously why you're probably here. Slightly away from typical workout videos there, more to discuss something that I believe is quite a prominent issue within the industry. So this video has been on my mind for a while, but a few things have occurred recently that's kind of brought it forward. And I say that because I've noticed a few comments about gym anxiety. I've also received some DMs, and in the latest episode on the podcast, we speak about a very unfortunate encounter a woman had at the gym. It kind of triggered this thought process, and we're going to run with it. And the wonderful world of social media means that a lot of the examples I can use and a few of the things I want to address can be found on the old TikTok machine, which is why we will be spending some time there. But before we actually crack on with the video, you know what must be done. If you like the video, please let me know you like the video by dropping a like on the video. 1,250 likes in the first 24 hours is the goal, so if we reach out, that'll be bloody stupendous. Now I would say borderline bloody fantastic. If you haven't already, please do consider clicking the red button down below and subscribing to the channel, and maybe even the bell next to it so you get notified when I upload every week, twice a week. And if you have a question you want me to answer at the end of the next video, drop it down below in the comment section below for comment question of the week, and I shall do so. But it's hat time, and I think I'm gonna be honest with you, I know the last hat went down a treat, and in all honesty I was a big fan of it myself, but I think I may have found my summer hat to prevent this naturally tanned skin, as you can tell, from getting too tanned in the sun. Oh yes, I feel like I'm about to feature in Kevin and Perry Go Large, if they ever were to do another one. Did you see how well that went on? Smooth, there's no resistance, no trying to squeeze my head into it. None of that. A good size, I would say. Probably the best fitting hat I've ever worn on this channel. We're talking about something that is quite uncomfortable, but also something that needs to be discussed. This is rubbing the back of my hoodie and it's making noise in my ear. Don't like that, stop it. Toxic gym culture. And before we get into the video, because we are discussing some sensitive things, being some shaming and some things that a lot of people don't want to see, and of course I don't really want to see either, but I feel like unfortunately it needs to be addressed, not to deter people from the gym, but to merely acknowledge and confront this behaviour to hopefully prevent it from continuing happening. I will, just for safety, just throw in a trigger warning that, like I said, this will be covering some sensitive topics, and we will be showing some videos that you maybe don't want to see, to be honest, because they're not very comfortable, they're not very nice. Again, if you do feel you are uncomfortable, if you feel like these videos are maybe making you feel like you don't want to go to the gym, or maybe making you feel bad about yourself, which I really hope they don't, I think it's best if you were to potentially click off the video. Again, I appreciate you clicking on the video in the first place to support me, but please do not feel like by clicking off the video you are not supporting me. Austin actually sent me this one, so let's have a gander at what's occurring. When you're trying a workout class for the first time, the instructor uses phrases like, think about that cheesecake you ate last night, go until it hurts, summer is only 6 months away.
Oh, that'll do it. You don't have to worry about me. You do not have.
I am so glad that people are calling this out now, because I've thought this for years. I remember I used to go to this one workout studio and they would always yell at us, especially when it got to be like April, May. They'd be like, come on, it's about to be tank top season. You don't want flabby arms.
Behaviours like this are actually very common. So obviously I have been in the industry, I guess, as a professional for nearly about 10 years. In that time I have worked at gyms. Although you maybe don't notice these as problematic at the time, when you look back you're thinking, actually, should you really be saying those things? But these things do unfortunately occur. I know a lot of instructors use this as a means of like motivating people. In the grand scheme of things, if you actually think about it, it actually just makes them feel guilty about what they've done. It demonizes enjoying yourself, and it also demonizes food in a lot of cases by saying, obviously as we saw previously, think about the cheesecake you ate last night. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, a controversial opinion, I do not love cheesecake, but if I am going to eat cheesecake, don't you shame me for doing so. I don't think you should get shamed for doing so either. You're allowed to eat what you want to eat. You're allowed to enjoy food that you enjoy consuming. Let's say you're tracking calories, you track that cheesecake. Let's say you're not tracking calories, you just want some cheesecake. You eat that bloody cheesecake if you want it. Demonizing food as if one is good good or bad is really problematic because it does contribute to the development of unhealthy relationships and negative relationships with food. It also can contribute to disordered eating and eating disorders, which we know I have discussed many times before, but I'm going to try and avoid going into too much detail on that now because the trigger warning I presented earlier didn't mention eating disorders and disordered eating. Therefore, I don't want to delve too much into that because I have not given fair warning before doing so. But actually, I want to quickly throw out there, when I say I don't love cheesecake, I'm not saying I dislike it, okay? You know what, the Cheesecake Factory cheesecake does me bits. It's the one with the chocolate mousse sent me into oblivion. Honestly, sometimes I think about, can I afford to fly to America just for a slice? Maybe one day, but not now. Some cheesecake I absolutely love. Does bits to me. Incredible scenes. Other cheesecake I'm saying, you know what, you kind of taste like chalk. Other times I'm like, you kind of taste like sadness, and I've tasted that many times before. And sometimes, in all honesty, I just think sometimes you don't taste like cheese, nor do you taste like cake, nor do you taste like cheesecake. It's a bit of a wild one. But yeah, instructors often use these kind of behaviours as a means of motivating. I do understand why I do it, because I think it was really popularised in earlier fitness days, like years and years ago, and that kind of carried over today. You eat what you want to eat. You shouldn't feel guilty for doing so, nor should you feel like you have to then punish yourself or work it off or do anything along those lines. Your primary motivation when it comes to classes and fitness should be because you want to be there and because you want to achieve your goals, because you want to be healthy, whatever it may be. You have your own motivations, and I don't think demonizing aspects of your life such as eating is a healthy one for instructors to promote. So Joey Swole is somebody who has been floating around the industry for many years, and he's going to pop up in a couple of these TikToks because I couldn't actually find the original ones. He's very much at the moment trying to eliminate or at least reduce toxic gym culture. Really respect that, really appreciate that. Although sure, there are some alleged scandals in the past surrounding like a company he used to be affiliated with called Shreds. We're not going to delve into that, but I fully acknowledge that people can change, and I really love to see it when people do change. And all I'm going to say based on Joey is I really respect and appreciate what he is doing regarding abolishing toxic gym culture. We need to see more of it. This woman is doing her workout fantastic. There's a man walking in shot of the camera, and she's obviously getting very annoyed by that. Joey does go on to mention this actually. When you're filming a workout, like a set or whatever it may be, someone walking in front of your camera, you're a bit like, oh, I wish they didn't. But at the end of the day, the gym is a public space. Whoever's around that gym, whoever's in that gym, has as much of a reason and as much of a place in that gym as you do. No one deserves to be there more than someone else. We are all of equal value, and we're all there for a very similar reason, which is to enhance our lives to some degree, be that performance, health, whatever it may be. Although I do think people should actually be quite aware of their surroundings, not necessarily the people walking in front of the camera, but more those who are filming. Be aware of who you're filming, because some people actually really don't want to be on film, which again should very much be respected. Doing things like this can contribute to people getting a bit anxious in the gym, especially when they see a phone or a camera out, that they are going to maybe walk in front of it, walk in shot, or somebody's going to get annoyed, which they shouldn't, and they may even end up on TikTok like this individual has. It's not nice. It's not encouraging. At the end of the day, when it comes to the gym, we want to encourage and enhance people's lives, not discourage and hinder their lives. And sometimes things like this can very much do that. Did you ever see someone so unhealthy it makes you mad, and then the caption is, being fat will never be acceptable? Why is this appropriate? Why was this necessary to say? At the end of the day, as I said many times before, focus on your body and what you are doing. Don't focus on the bodies of other people, because you don't know their goals, you don't know their desires, you don't know their story, you don't know what's happened, you don't know where they're going, you don't know how far they've come. So many things to consider that people don't consider. Regardless of whether somebody is larger, smaller, heavier, lighter, it doesn't matter. I think we should spend more time investing into our lives and our bodies and worry less about what other people are doing, especially when we don't know all the details. The thing I dislike more than anything is when people actively ridicule somebody who is maybe slightly heavier and they are in the gym actively working. Although you shouldn't laugh at anybody for anything, you're laughing at somebody who's doing something about what you're laughing at them for. How's that helping? And like I said, how somebody looks is completely irrelevant to you, so why does it matter so much you need to make a video about it? I also remember that people who make horrible comments such as being fat will never be acceptable, those comments don't come from a place of security. These comments can come from many places. Those places could be inadequacy, insecurity, negativity, uncertainty, unhappiness, things like that. But regardless, I don't think it's ever acceptable to laugh at anybody for how they look.
Where are all the hot people? I was told that there would be...
Realistically, you go to the gym to work out, to enhance your life, to better your life. That's fantastic. Indirectly or maybe even directly mocking people for being there because they don't fit your maybe aesthetic standard is not enhancing the lives of anybody else. Again, it's probably hindering the lives of those who may come across this video and those who are in the video. The gym is a progressive and welcoming environment to anybody and everybody. Fitness is a progressive and welcoming environment to anybody and everybody. Regardless of whether you go to the gym, you work out from home, wherever you are, there is always some means of fitness you can engage in. And I feel like like that should be very much encouraged. Not because those who work out and do this are better than you or whatever that may be, but more because it's just a great means of enhancing your lifestyle, not just regarding physical health, but maybe mental health as well. For a lot of people, the gym is a bit of a safe space. Again, for me, for example, it is a safe space, as in it's one of the few places in the world where I don't feel anxious. And because obviously, I'm quite an anxious person. I go there, I feel comfortable, I feel accepted, I feel welcome. I think that's a really big part of finding a gym with a positive community. And if you go into a gym where people are promoting things like this, and maybe the staff don't take your complaints seriously, as we mentioned again in the podcast when the woman was speaking about her negative experience, that's a gym you got to leave. You want to be in the gym and in an environment that helps you thrive, not one that leaves you anxious, leaves you uncertain, and leaves you feeling judged or not taken seriously. If you weigh under 180, you're beta and you don't belong in the gym.
My guy finally weighed in at 180.4 and ran to the gym to film this video. Probably didn't even poop that morning. Didn't want to take the risk. Dip back under at 179. Listen, Christian, the only people who don't belong at the gym are people who put others down for no reason. Stop gatekeeping. Fitness is for everyone.
Yeah, really good point there. At the end of the day, fitness is for everybody, as I kind of just previously mentioned. And that kind of goes into the realm of gatekeeping, which it seems to be really common. A lot of the gym bros I noticed, especially on TikTok, do very much gatekeep bodybuilding, powerlifting, aesthetics, wherever it may be, and the gym as a whole, as you can see from this video. And ultimately, again, that's discouraging people from getting involved. That's discouraging people from enhancing their lifestyle. And that is likely very much contributing to people feeling anxious about going to the gym. Some of my best friends I have made through the gym. Actually, most of my best friends I have made through the gym, because you understand that you're all there for a similar reason. You don't have to follow the same discipline or the same purpose or goals at the gym, but you're all there to enhance your life through the means of physical activity, which is fantastic. Whether you're training for sport and performance, whether you're training for health and fitness, whether you're training for weight loss, muscle gain, whatever it may be, you're doing something to directly enhance your life. And I said this many times, I will continue saying it, fitness is one of the few aspects of life in which you can directly control the progress you make. You work really hard at a job, you're not guaranteed progression, you're not guaranteed a promotion. If you work really hard on your fitness journey, you are guaranteed results. If you aren't seeing results, something needs to change. Work a bit harder, eat a bit better, work a bit smarter. So many things, so many variables to consider. But you can control whether you're progressing or not. No one else can. And it's fantastic, I love it. The gym is for everybody. Promoting toxic gym environment, whether it's for a meme, a bit of fun, TikTok, wherever it may be, is not encouraging people to get into the gym. It's doing the exact opposite. Whether you want to go to the gym or not, whether you want to get into fitness or not, that is not a problem. That is completely your choice and I respect your decision. However you look, whatever your goals are, whatever it may be, it's your life, your body, your journey. You must do what's best for you. And I, as I'm sure the rest of the TFNL community, will always respect that. We have no right to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, nor should you feel pressure to do something because somebody else feels you should. Do what's best for you, for you. And toxic gym culture, although getting better, I believe and I hope, is still very much a thing, but something we can address. If you see something occurring, don't be afraid to speak out about it or speak to a member of staff. If they don't take you seriously, bin off that gym because that's not a place you're going to thrive in. I'm kind of showing you the worst aspects of the gym here. This is not an accurate representation of the gym and everybody in the gym because thankfully I personally have encountered very few toxic behaviours in the gym, although I will admit I have encountered a few, and I really hope that you never encounter any of them. And if you do, you have to remember that that behaviour is not coming from a place of happiness and security, and it's not your fault, nor is it a you problem. It's coming from something within the individual who is engaging in this behaviour, and they're just deflecting because of how they feel, not because of what you've done or how you look. Again, sorry about the ramble and the waffle. It's just something I've noticed a lot of on TikTok recently, and I thought it'd be really good to address it, to hopefully bring awareness to what's occurring, and just to reassure you that I promise you, not everybody is like this. It is more rare than it is common. Trust me when I say the fitness world is a fantastic one. There will always be a few weeds that you need to kind of work around. The community can be very positive and uplifting, and the people can be bloody amazing too. I'm going to crack on with comment question of the week. What is the key difference in training to achieve muscle like, say, Lynn Lowe's without getting that typical bodybuilder look? Is the training different? There are a few things to consider. Genetics is definitely a big thing in there. So our capacity and like muscle building limit and how fast we build muscle is partly determined by genetics. But you also look at how hard they're working, it's definitely another thing to consider. Their goals, are they training purely for hypertrophy, or are they doing other bits and bobs? Eating, are they eating? There's so many things to consider. When you see like a bodybuilder, their kind of priority is to get as big as possible, as easily and quickly as possible. Genetics are going to be a huge factor in that, of how big you can get, and also what your shape allows you to look like. I think it's all of the factors that you could imagine. Their diet is probably very different. They're probably going through extended massing periods, like bulking periods, and doing like recomps and mini cuts here and there. They're probably trying to do whatever they can to optimize how much muscle they can build. So their training is going to be very hypertrophy driven, and they're largely trying to optimize hypertrophy. They're controlling as many variables as possible to ensure they can recover enough, thus allowing them to train as hard as possible to help them achieve that goal of optimizing hypertrophy. I don't think there's any one specific answer. It's probably a combination of all of those things, in addition to time lifting. A lot of people have been lifting for 10, 20 years or so. A lot of factors and variables to consider, but they're all likely contributing towards it. But that is it. That is a video. Like I said at the start of the video, if you like the video, please let me know you like the video by dropping a like on the video. 1,250 likes in the first 24 hours is the goal, so if we can reach that, that'd be bloody amazing. If you haven't already, please do consider clicking the red button down below to subscribe to the channel, and maybe even the bell next to it so you get notified when I upload every week, twice a week. And if you two have a question you want me to answer at the end of the next video, drop it down below for comment question of the week, and I shall do so. Thank you for tolerating me. Thank you for tolerating my incredibly tanned and sun-protected skin, and thank you for tolerating the video.